y'all, it's Day. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for us today. Very much looking forward to this reading. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am using the Dust to Onyx tarot deck again today. Can't really see the name of it because it's the lighting, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, very interesting. So at the top right of the spread, the first card that's coming out is the King of Cups, and it's coming out in reverse. And it feels like an other, like someone that is viewing whoever this message is for is not in the best headspace, and they may be feeling some type of way. I do get a feeling of like jealousy or feeling left behind type of energy or something. We'll get more context, I'm sure. Oh, and this is whoever this message is for. Whoever this message is for, you are in the Ten of Staffs, Ten of Wands energy. And in the traditional tarot, the Ten of Wands is someone carrying all those wands up on their back as they are going up a hill. So it can typically represent someone having burdens or having carried something heavy, but ultimately having the endurance to do so. Within the imagery of this card in this particular deck, the Dust to Onyx, it definitely is giving Six of Wands type of energy. So it's definitely this energy of whoever this message is for, you have been in a position for a long period of time where you have carried a certain burden, but none of the things that you have gone through in the past were in vain, and you're coming through as very victorious. And there's something I'm hearing, interdependence. So you may have been in a relationship in the past, and I'm getting romantic, but it's not limited to romantic. It could just be some type of partnership that you have had. I'm also getting a reference to like a business partnership where now it feels like you're out of it, and it does feel like a part of that relationship was definitely necessary but also karmic. So for whoever this message is for, you have left that situation or that partnership, or the partnership has run its course, but you're coming out on top and you're coming out in a victorious manner. So it's kind of like you may have been in the past felt kind of held back by this partnership. Maybe it started off well, but just over time, maybe you've put years into it, it just became to feel like a drag, or maybe it felt limiting, or you just wanted to do other things, embark on other things, have new experiences and things like that. But the message that's coming through with this is like during that time that you were in that partnership, even if you were in a space where you were kind of really ready to go, really ready to release it, really ready to move on, you still did your due diligence. You still respected or accepted that your term wasn't up yet or your contract wasn't up yet. You still maintained integrity, and use your time wisely. One of the things that come through often in conversation when people are wanting to know, like, when is my new love gonna come in? When is my new partner gonna come in? Or when is this job gonna come in? Sometimes we're putting our fishing net out there for new and better things, but the divine, our spiritual team, they always have the higher perspective, and they know when we're fully ready and prepared for what is next. And a lot of those aspects that they're waiting on is for our character development and thinking about somebody working out over time, lifting weights, what they say, muscle memory. You have to build up muscle memory. So, something about your next stage, your new experience, your new partnership, you have the muscle memory, you have the training, you used your time wisely, even though it felt stagnant or you felt bored or you felt like I'm ready for something new. You still stayed true to the path, you still maintained your faith in that connection, in that situation, that everything works out um, the way that it's meant to, and that you're still protected and still guided. And so, for whoever this message is for, you're out of that situation, you made it out of it, and spiritual team is coming through to say that they're very proud of you. They're very proud of you, and I'm hearing interdependence again. I believe interdependence is kind of like mutual dependence. Like, when you go into a partnership of any kind, there are, as certain aspects that you kind of get used to the other person taking care of, but you never let yourself completely be dependent. That's what interdependence is. So you didn't let yourself go, you didn't let your skills go. Some people, they get into relationships and they completely, let their partners, platonic or romantic, kind of have full control. And sometimes it can come, it could be tricky because it's kind of like, oh, especially when you think that you're going to be with that partner long term and you're putting all your eggs in one basket, you become dependent, and that can be dangerous. But spiritual team is coming through very, very clearly to say that they're proud of you for holding your own weight. You've been in the gym, you've been taking care of what needs to take care of. So when it has gotten to the point where you realize that you wanted to be out of that partnership, you kept working and you were diligent. So now, when the opportunity presented itself, you were able to take that leap of faith, and you are now maintaining yourself and sustaining yourself because you did what you needed to do. You are capable of, being independent and standing on your own 2 feet. And I saw 8:08 on the clock earlier. So that's definitely abundance energy. So love that for you. I had to check on my toes because I painted my toenails earlier, and I was like, oh, I'm really just on my toes like that, but they're dry. Thank goodness. So spiritual team is very proud of whoever this message is for, and the person that you left, the partnership, the business. I don't know, it could be work, business, romantic, platonic, whatever partnership. They are looking at you, and I'm kind of getting this disgruntled look. He also kind of looks like he's not happy for you. He's kind of like squinting a little, like, I can't believe that you got away with this. How are you doing this? And I'm sure we'll get more context on what's the sitch. Like, why are you so mad? What's the deets? I'm kind of wondering, like, did this other person not do what they needed to do within the partnership? And I'm hearing the word barren. I just got interrupted and heard the word barren. So perhaps they were getting more out of the partnership or more dependent in the partnership than you were. But I'm hearing oversight, but I'm also getting this feeling of, there's this feeling of, I don't know if they had some kind of authority or some kind of access, whatever aspect of this partnership or business that they were handling, they kind of gave it more weight than it was necessary, or they, I'm also getting that they just kind of underestimated whoever this message is for's will. They underestimated their willingness to hone their skills. They didn't even think about the aspect of faith and the aspect of whoever this message is for is lightness. And when I say lightness, I'm talking about their divine favor, that their spiritual team will fill in the gaps. Because a lot of people, whether they're gatekeepers or they're authority figures that are misusing their power, or they're just, people like this in partnerships that they think this is that and that is this. This ain't that, that ain't this. They kind of like, they like, oh yeah, they'll never go anywhere because they don't know how to code. Whole time you're, you've been doing research online, whole time you've been unhappy for the last 6 months, and you've been praying about it, and you've been talking to your spiritual team about it, and you've been asking your spiritual team, please open up an opportunity for me. And now you're connected to an organization that, has all that built in for you. It's something where, like, you did what you needed to do in your scope of things. It doesn't even like, it could be this too, or not limited, but it's like maybe you did learn how to code, whatever it is that they thought that was it, like they had it, that you were not never gonna leave or be able to leave, or that you were gonna stay. A lot of people be thinking y'all both miserable and y'all both gonna settle, and that don't be the case. Okay. Okay, so directly underneath this 10 of staffs, where spiritual team is saying you're looking good, you're fit, you did all the workouts, you've been putting time in, now you're so fit for this new opportunity that awaits you. We have the Four of Staffs, or the Four of Wands, which came out in reverse. Very interesting. And then we have the Seven of Coins. Yeah, so I'm not sure I'm gonna get more context on this Four of Wands, but definitely with this Seven of Coins, it's like you were stacking your bread, you were setting things aside, you were budgeting. If this is for whoever this message is for, it's like you were in a situation that kind of ran its time, but divine time ran a little bit longer than your time. So say you were working a job, and you discovered after 2.5 years that you were ready to leave, but you ended up having to work there for 3 years and 3 months, something like that. It's kind of like you were done, but you realize, like, dang, I don't have everything that I need to move, or a new opportunity hasn't opened up for me. But as you were doing it, you were doing all the other things that create mobility in your life. And I do have free resources available on my website if you guys want to check it out. But one of the resources that I haven't just uploaded just yet is commuting, traveling and commuting. So, anytime that we are feeling stagnant in our lives, like things are not moving, there are other things that we could do to maintain our mobility. So, you feel stagnant, you're not living in your ideal living situation. Maybe you're living with others and you really want to leave, you want to get out, getting finding those Pinterest pictures, that is creating mobility, because you're manifesting, you're visualizing it, visualizing yourself, meditating on you being in your shower in the ideal apartment or home that you want to be. That is creating mobility. Using affirmations, I am wealthy, I will have my house, I am capable of owning. That that is creating mobility, even when your reality, your current situation feels stagnant. So, with the Seven of Coins, what I want to say is, even though you felt like kind of stuck, spiritual team is coming through to say, like, you were budgeting, you were setting, your coins aside, you were getting that certificate on the side, you invested time, energy, and effort. And these are things that you may have kept to yourself. You may have not told this other partner, or whatever the situation was. You might have kind of just quietly worked on yourself, quietly positioned yourself for the opportunity that you said you wanted, and it added up. And what's significant about it, and why spiritual team is bringing it up, is because it took discipline, it took faith, and it wasn't really a lot. um Saving is a big thing, and with our economy it can be really hard, but I'm getting somebody save $2 at a time. And so the type of faith that is required for something, and it's kind of like, yeah, someone could easily be like, $2, that's nothing. But doing that every week, or however frequent you are able to, that is creating mobility in your life. And so just when you needed it, it was available. And when you looked up, it was there. So love that for you. So yeah, what is this Four of Staff? With the Four of Wands coming out in reverse, it's kind of like the way it's coming through directly underneath this King of Cups. It's like it's not necessarily adding up, or like from their perspective, they think like it's not adding up. You didn't have the backing, you didn't have the database, you didn't have the programming. Like, they don't understand how things worked out for you. It's like from their perspective, there's so many other things. Like I said again, sometimes other people, they try to kind of count your pockets, or people try to project, and I don't know, they just try to think like, oh yeah, they just get too comfortable. That's what it is, really. They get too comfortable. They think other people don't have options, or they think that they know what other people's options are. But we know that everything can change in a day. Miracles happen every single day. Miracles are a natural phenomenon. And so when you know things like that, help is on the way. Like, opportunities will open up only just for you. So, yeah, so this King of Cups in reverse, this other partner is just kind of like, I guess they didn't see it coming. They didn't see the help coming, but it's like they just didn't account for faith. Whoever this message is for, y'all were praying about it. You were talking to your spiritual team. You were, manifesting, visualizing. You were, posting that, what do they call that? Dream board. Whatever you did, it worked. And everything came together for you. And I'm hearing the word faith. On the bottom left of the spread, we have judgment. Whoever this message is for, you stayed true. There is also this energy of maybe this person said something or did something to you that kind of dampened your comfortability of expressing what you actually wanted, or outwardly striving for what you wanted. So earlier I was talking about whoever this message is for, they were kind of quietly doing what they felt like they needed to do to get themselves in a better position, or to at least be in a better position, prepared for an opportunity that would eventually come their way. But what I'm getting now is that they didn't necessarily just keep it to themselves, keep it under wraps. I'm hearing, just to, not that anything is wrong with that, because it can definitely be beneficial to move in silence, but I'm getting that whoever this King of Cups in reverse, they contributed to, is my lips coming through? I'm like, oh, whoever this message is for, like, the King of Cups contributed to whoever this message is for, kind of keeping it a secret. So they may have talked down to you, whoever this message is for, or they may have kind of not been celebratory to you when you were striving for something, or they may have kind of maybe would say things like, I don't know, it's kind of like whatever it was, you didn't feel comfortable sharing with them your goals. But it's not, the point is that it wasn't necessarily that you was just like, I'm gonna move in silence. It was kind of like they made you feel kind of like unseen, unheard. And so you just continue to pour into yourself, exercise your faith, and believed in yourself in silence so that it wouldn't be ridiculed. So you kind of like protected it. And that is, I don't know, it's kind of like it backfired on them. That's crazy. Okay. So towards the left of the spread, we have the Ace of Cups. Your cups is coming from a completely different source. And that's also what this King of Cups in reverse is confused about. They're like, what? How? When? And now it's kind of like, if this was an authority figure, also it's kind of like, there's something that you did, there's something that you obtained, something that you've accomplished that they now have questions about that they could benefit from knowing. So I'm seeing them also kind of like wanting to know some kind of information. So for the work example, it's kind of like, say this was a manager that you were working for, and the manager owned the store, but somehow you guys kind of partnership together. So maybe you didn't have as much weight as they did, but the work, the skills, the knowledge that you did have was still significant, just the same. So you guys were kind of like two puzzle pieces that work together, but maybe they like they're the one that owned the shop or they own the equipment. So it's kind of like they have a heavier weight, they felt like. So um there, whatever you did, it's kind of like a new wave, and it's kind of like they would want to know in regards to the industry that you both work in, like, wait, other companies are doing this now? Wait, like, so you could just move, like you can navigate this way? Wait, you got this type of certificate, and that opens up this type of opportunity. So it's kind of like the roles are reversed. Maybe this person was kind of a mentor type of thing. I don't know. It's a weird kind of like dynamic here. And also, if it was like a mentor to mentee type of situation, I just feel like something about the way their mannerism, the way that they lead, kind of makes people feel like they have to stand under. Maybe this King of Cups doesn't fully like allow people to grow, fully doesn't allow people to expand. They don't fully like make them feel comfortable or value their opinions or something like that. So yeah, the Ace of Cups is for whoever this message is for, a new blessing, a new opportunity, a new endeavor, a new adventure um, being presented. And it just leads you on a whole new path. I'm seeing a stream. So, like, you may have been working with this person or this company or this partnership for so long, and I just see you going off on a whole different little stream. And it's something that you want to do, and it's something that is inspiring and encouraging and gives you that kind of new fresh air, fresh breeze start that you've been wanting. Love that for you. Okay, so on the right of this Ace of Cups, we have the Eight of Swords. Ooh. Okay, the Eight of Swords. I'm trying to think of what the Eight of Swords is in the traditional tarot. The Eight of Swords. I'm hearing the word wielding. And the way that it's coming through is that whoever this message is for, you really did kind of have to work hard. And I'm also getting from your perspective, it was just from your perspective, although you were striving, although you were using your manifestation tools, although you were creating mobility for yourself in multiple different ways, spiritual team is showing me that from your perspective, it was like, oh, I'm hearing clear cut. It was like very clear cut as far as like you wanting to move out of that position, as far as you wanting to move out of that environment and into something new. It was looking really bleak as far as your options. So they're bringing that up to say that like we understand your perspective, we understand, what you got, what you were seeing, but they're hoping that with this new opportunity that you have, and with knowing and being proud of yourself for the like the faithfulness that you maintained, and the strives that you made for yourself, hoping and expecting and affirming a better future. They're hoping like that, like, yes, we're going to show up for you every time. But it's showing with the Eight of Blades, it's kind of like you were tired, you were jagged, you went to, for that person that went and got their certificate, you were doing that in silence, not able to really just express about what your goals were, because I'm getting somebody did want to express what their goals were. And so this King of Cups may have been very much, I'm not necessarily getting dismissive because they didn't get the opportunity to express it to them, but they were very much about themselves. They were very much, when someone's just kind of emotionally available, they're doing their daily routine. This is how it's done. This is the way that it goes. And they're not really concerned about anything else. They're not really open to new ideas and new thought forms. And that's why I'm saying it was significant with the King of Cups that came out earlier, because now you're in this new position, getting this new opportunity, and they're kind of like, wait, what? They're doing that now? And so that's why they're kind of looking at whoever, like, how? They're like, they're envious. And I was also getting to like, they're too prideful to even truly ask, like, how. They want to know, they want to ask, but they just won't let themselves. So I was getting earlier, like I said, whatever this thing, this new wave, this, you really paved the way for yourself, because it's just kind of like, I got this certificate, I'm doing this manifestation, I'm doing both of these things at once, I'm still dealing with this emotionally unavailable partnership, boss, um, company, work. I'm still, taking care of myself, my hygiene, my house, my personal space, my chores. I'm still like, you were doing all of these things and maintaining them, and spiritual teams coming through to acknowledge and witness you, that like, yes, we seen you doing all those things. That's why we showed up for you with this new opportunity, that you did not see it, and we see that you maintained your faith and you did what you need to do, even though you didn't really see like, my options are bleak, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I gotta do something. So that is so beautiful. And yeah, so they're like, how, where, like, where did they get this support? They're thinking like in terms of people, but they're not realizing it was the divine. As far as this King of Cups, they're like, where, how, who else is gonna take on who else is gonna take on a flunky? So this is another reference to like, they didn't really respect your position, they didn't really respect your the significance of the role that you played or something. Yeah, they, and I'm hearing the word underpaid. You may have been underpaid. It's like something about your level of knowledge or skills. They just kind of put you in a box, like, oh yeah, this person gets, this type of person with this type of skills get paid for this. But I'm seeing the way that you showed up in the job, the partnership was way more than what they were calculating or giving you credit for. And yeah, like I said, they may have had or given themselves more weight in this partnership, because maybe, they had the equipment or something. It was something very logical, very tangible, that's just kind of like, oh yeah, I could see why you have 60% of the shares in the company. But that 40% will eat you alive too. Like, don't play. If you don't play your cards right. So yeah, someone was just kind of undervaluing you. Whole time you were upgrading your skills as well. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. What else do we need to know regarding this message? What else do we need to know regarding this message? We have the Two of Coins coming out in reverse. And I feel this coming out on top of this Seven of Coins. When we're talking about, I'm hearing again, stacking your bread. So you've been stacking your bread, whether that's money wise or knowledge skills wise. You've been updating your resume. You've been like all the stuff that's kind of needed. You've been stacking your bread. That's funny. And then why is the Two of Coins coming out in reverse? Let's see. I'm hearing off duty. So with the Two of Coins, I was like asking, is this a person place thing? Is this an action? So I'm getting it's an action that you took. You were trying to balance things on your own. I'm getting without very much support. Okay. So the stuff that you saved, the things that you were stacking, like I said earlier in the example of like if it was money, someone was setting aside $2 at a time. And it's kind of how it could be easy to be like, man, this ain't gonna do nothing. But they did it anyway, exercising their faith. Spiritual team is also saying that if you had more support, if you had more help, then you would have been able to do even more than what you've already accomplished. And so that wasn't on you, that was out of your control. And if you've been following my channel or watching the previous videos, you know how important it is to remember what is in your control and what is out. What is out of your control, that is for the divine, so you can kind of relieve yourself of unnecessary worrying. But it was actually assigned to the King of Cups. They could have been more supportive. They could have been more emotionally available. They could have, whatever we were talking about earlier, where it's kind of like you didn't feel comfortable kind of like expressing your excitement, like, hey, I'm going to be, I'm doing this training for certification. I hope that blah, blah, blah. Something about the situation scenario played out where like for some reason you just knew that they weren't gonna be available, or they just had this energy of like non-supportive, or like I said earlier, they're stuck in their own. Sorry you guys that you haven't been able to see the cards for real, for real. They've been kind of like stuck in their own routine. It's kind of like somebody just like not being present, not being available. They're just in their own world. I'm gonna take care of my setup. Oop. Yeah, so it's like you did all of this. Spiritual team is coming through to say like you were really, they're just really proud of whoever this message is for, and that's why this card came out at the beginning. And so with this card, this special card that comes with this deck, coming out on top of it, where spiritual team saying they're proud of you, you're fit, you're exactly where you need to be. This is where like people be like, When is my new love coming in? They're not even prepared. They're like the opposite of this. They're out of shape. They haven't been showing up to the gym, the spiritual gym. They haven't, went and got their certificate. They haven't been doing the upgrades that are necessary, things like that. So with this special card, the kind of like scrying card coming out on top of it, that was kind of like when you maintaining your focus and you're exercising your faith, regardless of what the situation looks like, meets divine intervention, it's infinite. The darkness is infinite. Anything can happen. There's possibilities. So God, divine, spiritual team, they'll always fill the space. They'll always come through for you. That's beautiful. But yeah, but the karmic part of it is like that was for the King of Cups to do. Like they weren't kind of like helping you help yourself. They weren't being supportive. And that's why it was kind of like really a struggle for you. You were carrying it all on your own. Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this message? Oh, yeah. Now we got the Six of Cups coming out upright. Look at that. Now you got this new partnership. Now you got this new um, experience that you're on, this new journey, this new walk. And something about it is kind of like slightly different. So you have some transferable skills from this last partnership, but you're kind of going to be doing something else. Like I was saying earlier, there was kind of like you both were on the same stream, and then you kind of veered off on this new stream. You're going in another direction. You're going to go on a more exciting, more creative, more life giving type of experience, opportunity, partnership. Love that for you. Absolutely love that for you. And this is coming out on top of the two of coins in reverse. So now, okay, you're gonna have whereas before you weren't getting the support that you needed, even though you did it all by yourself anyways. Now you're fit, you're in shape, but you're also meeting somebody, a new opportunity, a new company, a new job, new partner that is just as fit as you and just as capable and just as willing, and you have creative space and you're respected and you're looked at as an equal. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. So better partnerships for you, better experiences for you, someone that's going to help you carry the weight, the load, and also um, there's so much room for fun and creativity. That's coming through very significantly. Fun, creativity is also available. We were saying earlier, like they were kind of like because they were the big fish, you know, they kind of maybe called the shots or didn't really respect or appreciate your position, your role. Not in this new experience. Awesome. Okay. I was saying I would like to close this message. So we'll talk about the last card, and I think we do have an undercurrent under the deck energy and an undercurrent top of the deck energy. So, moral of the story is, you guys, Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of us. This is how the divine is viewing us. This is how our spiritual team is viewing us. They're so proud of us. They're saying, like, you've done everything that you needed to do. You're more than capable of this new opportunity. They want you to have fun. They want you to feel encouraged. They want you to know. They're coming to through to acknowledge, like, yes, you are on a new path, you are on a new journey. So take that in. You know, take a moment for yourself to be proud of yourself and to acknowledge it, that you did make it out of that situation. And they thank you for maintaining your faith, that you are such a great example of what they want a lot of people to be doing. To know that even when a door hasn't opened yet, if it hasn't opened yet, that you trusted, it's for a reason, and you got to work. You didn't just sit around and twiddle your thumbs or just complain about how you wanted to be in a different situation. You trusted that there must be something that I need to do. There must be something that I need to be doing, and I'm going to do that. And because of that, the opportunity presented itself, and you are ready for it. Because a lot of people, they do kind of get those opportunities and they're not prepared for it. I had a client in the past where she wanted a particular partner, and as I was doing a reading for her, I do see that did see that partner, that opportunity for a partner, was available to her. But the trajectory that she was currently on is that even when she got that partner, she was then going to be kind of like be looked at in the situation or the same way that she looks at her current prospects. So at the time, she was looking at her current prospects as not prepared, not having the skills, not understanding like what she needed. But from her perspective, she's wanting someone, higher quality, has more going on for them, and things like that. Spiritual team was saying that she also, if she were to get in that partnership right now, she would kind of like, they would probably look at her like, understanding that she might not be fully prepared for the relationship as well, in whatever way that looked like. We all have different preferences and things like that. So, not to get into that, but it's something about wanting a new something, a new opportunity, and you're not truly prepared for it the way that you want to. So, you want that brand new car, but you're not prepared for the monthly insurance notes on it, in addition to the car note. And those are things that you have to be mindful of. You buy a new car, you have to be able to pay the fee to get it registered. So things like that. So spiritual team is very proud of you and they want you to be proud of yourself. Then the under the deck undercurrent energy is the four of coins. Very interesting. This is the four of coins. And it came out in reverse. And then we have the ace of coins. So let me see. What is that about? I'm hearing the words new hidden gems. So there are aspects of this new opportunity, this new partnership, this new journey that we're embarking on that has unlocked, and we will be presented with new thought forms, new way perspective to look at things. So it's coming through in the form of a privilege. So it's kind of like, now you're a part of this company and they do things this way. It's just kind of like just new things. They're like, oh, you could open this type of bank account, right? And just kind of like, what? And then you could do that and then do this. Yeah, you could do that and do this to set this up. And then you won't have to worry about that. And you like, word? Yeah, and the company pays for it, so you don't even have to worry about it. It's something like new gems, new hidden gems will be unlocked. So congratulations on that. And I'm also getting a new way of being with the four of coins. So not too much, too fast, and to still be selective. We still out here in the wild, so not to be scared or anything. But it's kind of like, with being introduced into these new things, like just keep in mind, like I'm getting somebody being in a new environment, and they're like, oh yes, like we have these fruits and these, these fruits, like they have all these good things, but just keep in mind, like, make sure you do like a little test patch first. You could, nothing's necessarily gonna kill you, but you eat these berries and now your throat is itching. So it's just kind of like not too much too fast on this new journey, but it's all good things. It's new, it's inspiring, it's fun. Love that for you guys. That's pretty much it. Bye.